Greetings, and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice-of-life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. Let's go around, say hi to the folks we have here with us today. And today I shall start with Wilde. Hello.
Yes, hi, I am Wilde Engineer, and I am playing Shantano, an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splinters into fragments. They go by they, them pronouns.
Excellent, excellent. And Arras, hello.
Hello, I'm Arras. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing, I don't have it memorized, so I'm going to pull it up. Roshka Ruzik is an aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything. Also uses she, her pronouns.
Excellent, excellent. And let us move on to Anino. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? God, what is up with your shirt today?
I am a river today.
Oh boy. Hi, my name's Anino. I'm playing Mac the Husk, an itinerant enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica, who provides a vessel for spirits. They, them pronouns.
Excellent. And finally, Danielle, hello.
Hello, I am Danielle, and also I have a dog. I apologize. And Raconteur on Twitter, and I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Vormera. Vor is a connected ardent of the Order of Weavers who shepherds minds.
Excellent, excellent. I just decided to try to make my shirt slightly more viewer-friendly. Let's see how that does. All right. Like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat, or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and we'll do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom video chat, and we'll fade to black on it, or we'll put it behind a veil, so it'll be there. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I much appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, cool.
Thanks,
I
man.
got a founder badge too.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. One day we will actually have emojis, but still working that out. But yes, N card. We throw the N card, then we fade to black. The thing is still there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let folks know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it if we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then we think, that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. You would think I would have that spiel memorized by now. And yet I still feel myself having to look at the document. Who knows? Well, let's get into this. So, last time we actually had a development mode session. We just had Anino and Arras with us, and so they had a nice chat with her elegance and a grilled cheese sandwich. Those were the main highlights.
It was the most grilled
certainly.
cheese sandwich ever.
Yes, it was the most grilled cheese sandwich ever. Completely self-assured in its grilled cheese sandwichness.
The platonic skill of a grilled cheese sandwich.
One might say that. One might. But the most certain grilled cheese sandwich, the grilled cheese sandwich of certainty, it says on the menu. They went to Bar Cafe to do that. I believe, yes, it was during the day, so I think that's the iteration it was in. Which is one of the places Her Elegance likes to go when she's in Saturnine, or when she's in Fartown. But that, I think, mostly, I can't remember much of what happened during the discussion, if anything significant was overturned or discussed, aside from, I think, I think it was mostly just about sort of folks where they are in life type thing. Does that seem accurate, or is there?
I
Pretty
think-
much, yeah.
Yeah, there was a certain amount of warning and please warn me and information that could be useful to you in the future.
That's right. There was a little bit of wheeling and dealing. Her elegance likes to do that, so that's entirely possible. Case in point, we are actually going to be starting this a little bit before that happened, for a little bit, because while you were all still in the gold, Shantano wanted to have a discussion with Her Elegance, and so I'd like to make sure we do that, because they wanted a word with her in private. So this first little bit is going to take place back at that palace that is constantly reassembling itself. It is a little bit before folks are getting onto the are getting ready to get onto the conveyance, the flying conveyance that Her Elegance uses to jet between here and other planes. One of the few beings who has such a thing. And I assume most folks are kind of getting ready, but to do the flying thing. But Shantano has an opportunity to speak to Her Elegance before that happens. And I'm actually going to draw a card before we go there, just so that I know sort of what the tenor of this discussion shall be. I wonder if I used the word tenor correctly. Oh well, who knows? Perhaps I meant the word timber. I don't remember. Let's knock a tree down. Okay. Our card that we have just drawn. Let us see what it is. Well, I'll be very sure not to pull that card again. Because apparently that's the one that upends everything. Yeah. One day I will learn to press the transition button instead of the stop streaming button. That's really important. Professionalism. Okay. Let's have a look at that card, shall we? The Empty Gallows is what has been drawn for this scene. That's yet more editing I shall have to do later when we post this to YouTube. The Empty Gallows. I don't know if we've had this card before. I think we may have. It is the Three of Notions, and its meanings are rescue, salvation, solution, favorable judgment, and escape. The gallows claims no victory today. Today we are granted a reprieve, or we make an escape, or someone rescues us. Whatever the reason that the threat is gone, the problem is solved. The Empty Gallows brings a feeling of relief, of gratitude, and newfound purpose. It is a sudden extension of life. The Empty Gallows serves as the location card for the Notions family. Okay. So, yeah, she's going to... so Shantano, you're going to catch up with Her Elegance in a room full of maps. She has a number of things that she's... a few volumes she's pulling out and placing into a small handbag that appears to be able to contain all manner of things. Actually, she's not holding the handbag. She's, her servants are basically doing that as they're flitting around her sort of spiritual cherubic servants, and they're putting, she's handing them the things and they're putting them into the bag. And as she sort of turns, she looks at a globe, sort of a small metal globe that sits turning on a pedestal, thinking for a moment, and then she glances over. Yes. Ah, yes. You wanted a word, yes?
Yes, please, if possible.
Of course.
While I was
She's still packing while you're talking to her. Go ahead.
in contact with one of your fellow Gould, one of the ones who attacked the party. I happened to see that you all seem to be running from something. A particular doom, it seemed.
I am trying to decide... Chantino, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to decide how much you can be trusted with sensitive information before I discuss this with you.
Oh. Well, I have important friends that trust me. In fact, I have to deliver a message to murder themselves.
To murder.
Yes.
You are in contact with the embodiment of murder.
Not too bad when you get to know them.
Interesting. Thought they were still managing things around the edge of the blue.
I mean, if this is not something you prefer to discuss, perhaps you just point me in a direction, and I can find my own answers.
To what end?
Discovery?
You wish to study this doom of which you have heard.
Not study per se, I'm just curious as to why you're all running from it. I mean, you're all quite powerful as it is. I mean, in my experience, sometimes things like this just bring about change, which is not inherently a bad thing.
No, of course not. She looks at you very carefully. Are you familiar with the concept of the collapsing conundrum?
Not quite.
It is the idea of a sort of perhaps a puzzle or a labyrinth or other idea meant to in some ways fold in on itself, and one must untangle it. But it folds in on itself to the extent that it, in a way, devours itself. Or, that is not precisely the best term for it. It enters a pattern in which its progression brings itself more inward than outward, and it will no longer be able to support its own existence, much like a singularity.
Interesting.
You see what I am saying, yes?
So it's almost like it answers its own question.
In the sense that perhaps destroying or flattening something will render its journey ended. An answer in that sense of the word, perhaps.
That is,
Perhaps it seeks to answer its own question on some level, depending on how it goes, but the usefulness, that is the question of that, even. But you are aware that in the gold things are reborn, constantly reborn and growing, changing.
yes, the only constant is change.
It is... Do you think of this idea that things within the gold could collapse in upon themselves? Now, what do you think of that?
I mean, it would be quite unfortunate if that were to occur.
I'm going to now ask out of character, is Shantano being sincere?
Yeah, I mean, sincere to the point that it's one less thing for him to study, but not to the point where, you know, he really
Yeah.
truly deeply cares about it.
Got it. Awesome. Okay. So,
Yeah, they're more interested in this conundrum than...
yeah, more as a thing to study, but not something that wants to. Okay. All right. So as she's looking at you, she just sort of will be sort of visibly thinking about it. Very well. There is some indication that there are some forces within the gold who seek to bring about the ultimate collapsing conundrum, and perhaps turn the gold sun itself into a singularity.
Would that not throw the balance off of
Yeah.
everything?
I dare say. I know not the motives of those who might try such a thing. Nor do I know yet who it is that might even be thinking of attempting it. But there is a suggestion that that is the case. There is a suggestion that there has been interest in that direction. It would be such an undertaking that and such requires such power that I do not know if such a thing would even be possible. But there is sufficient concern for me to believe that perhaps it might be. I am also concerned at your mention of this, as apparently the idea has spread somewhat.
Well, we have come across things that should be impossible elsewhere, so one more thing to look at, I guess.
Perhaps. There is quite a lot that is occupying my attention at the moment, and, well, the attention of many. But it is, well, something that may take some time, and I feel that whatever it is, it will. It is a thing that would be worth looking into, should the time be there for it.
Well, I would be willing to look into it for you. It's simply, I would not be asking for anything, simply to satiate my own curiosity, to come up with my own answers.
Should you get somewhere, you will be compensated. I will see to that. Huh. She nods. I cannot provide more detail at this time, perhaps another time, save that, well, should you find yourself at a loose end and able to look into this before we meet again, I would start on the dark side of the gold, the night side. Well, and at this point, her bag snaps shut as she just sort of gestures to it as the last thing gets put in, and it drifts over to her. But for now, we must be off.
Yes. We shall revisit this at a later point.
Very good. So, you will all get into the flying, I still can't remember what flying thing it was, but something that flies. I think last time we said it was maybe there was a flying beast, or it was a thing that resembled a flying beast. I imagined there was like something to keep out the wind. So I'm not entirely certain what it is that you're flying there on, and perhaps in the fullness of time we shall discover that. Maybe it's a very large. Maybe I'll just say it's a large dome. It's a large manta ray with a dome on its back. I'm not sure. That sounds delightful. Also probably stolen from Spelljammer, but it's entirely possible. But when you arrive back in Satyrine, Her Elegance can drop you back in Fartown if you so desire. She has to stop there for a couple of things. So it's either, it's probably going to be actually that's probably the best to do there, because otherwise, unless you want her to drop you off somewhere else. So whilst she is off communing with Eroshka and Mac at a restaurant, which was kind of a last-minute decision in some ways, so it's really the information doesn't get out. But when Vor gets back to Fartown and gets back to the where do you go? What do you want to do? you've got a little time before everyone else reappears if you want to do something on your own.
So, I'm trying to remember what information we got last time.
Well, a couple of things, and perhaps folks can help me a little bit with the context on some of this, is I remember a few items. But
We got.
one of... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know we found out that Her Elegance had 2 children, quote unquote, who were in town, and then were involved. One of them was involved with the Church of Midnight.
Yeah, the foreman was apparently being targeted in some fashion by the Church of Midnight, or had been involved at one time, and so Her Elegance thinks that might have something to do with his disappearance.
And we didn't learn anything really about why Limerence Street disappeared.
Not as such, no. She did. Her Elegance did understand that she had a piece of her memory missing.
Right.
And that there was something significant that was probably on Limerence Street when it suddenly ceased to ever have existed. And she did mention... And she wasn't sure if this was a direct connection or not. Mm-hmm. But I think she did once again, the name Variagan came up. I think that is another of her descendants, if I recall correctly. And she knows that he is a member of an organization called the Pneuma. Mm-hmm. And that they study something rather particular. And which the precise nature of which Jim will mention in a moment once he actually pulls up the relevant document. So many threads! Let's see. Nope, that's not the one. Ha-ha! They study a thing that has to do with either building power internally or some sort of internal reality thing type deal. Let me see if I can see what it actually is, and thus have the ability to speak on it as though slightly more authoritatively. Let's see. The true nature of the soul. That's the one. And go ahead.
I'm gonna go like bar hopping, kind of. But essentially, the goal here is not so much for Vor to get like trashed or anything, although that might be a pleasant side effect. But the goal is more to kind of see if I can like casually name drop like Berrigan and like the Pneuma, and see if I can't stumble on somebody who knows a little bit more information about any of these things and could maybe point us in the right direction.
Excellent. You're going to hit the streets. Unfortunately, there's not a mechanic for that in this game specifically, but we'll use the ones we have. So you're going to go around asking around places in various points in Fartown, trying to see if you can suss out more information about Variagan. I think you have his address, actually. I think you might know him a little bit, if I'm remembering from previous information. I don't know that I said his address per se, but I think you might actually have it. But
if I do, I would just go there.
I do like the idea of I do like the idea of gathering a little bit more information. So I think that in the course, I think certain things are going to reiterate, and there are things we're all trying to remember since coming back from the war anyway. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to set a challenge of about 3 on this.
Okay.
For your bar hopping endeavor.
All right.
And we'll see where that goes.
Well, so I have my 1 level of charm.
Excellent.
So that'll take me down to a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And just go ahead and roll it.
Why not?
It's not too bad.
Why not, indeed?
There we go.
You're terribly charming, and you see you have conquered it. So yeah. So going to a few different places. Well, you kind of gather a few things. But you do find, ultimately, it's funny. So you do find a place that's actually not very far from your neighborhood. It's just a little bit. It's sort of, again, it's on the border of your neighborhood and Silver Hill. This one place. Actually, no. You know what I'll say is he actually did go into the Broken Mirror from time to time. And the owner, who I think we named and whose name I have promptly forgotten, will let you know that it's this odd thing, because he was very concerned recently about something, but he'll be damned if he can remember exactly what it was. It's like there was something. It's like he was having an argument maybe with himself. It was like a few weeks ago. At least that's as far as the proprietor remembers. But and now that you've had a conversation with someone with this problem before, you now know what to look for. You're getting the sense that there's something that's been deleted. Possibly because the street's gone. And you kind of get the sense that even from the way that he's describing, how this guy was talking to people, that it's not. He might have actually been talking to somebody else, but that other person has been deleted. It's like might have been someone who was on Limerence Street when it disappeared.
This might be a terrible idea. Can I don't want to be mean about it, but can I reach into this guy's mind and see if there's like any kind of like mental block, like force my way through it to actually see who Farragon was talking to?
Sure, that sounds like a great idea.
I know, right? It sounds like an excellent plan. This could in no way go wrong.
That could in no way possibly go wrong. Let's see. Oh, wait, I found my notes.
Well, that's good.
Will that help? Will it help? Oh, I found a message that I should have looked at a few minutes ago. Doesn't matter. That's all right. We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out eventually. So you're going to go into the proprietor's head. The proprietor, I'm going to say, Isavisli, we're going to give this a difficulty of 4.
Okay. Well, my mind reading ability is level 3. Level 2. But that would hurt. No, I shouldn't do that. Okay, so my mind reading ability is level 2, so I guess that helps here. I hope that helps.
Sure.
Here.
Yeah, it's 2 or better.
All right. Well, let's see.
Okay, and you're. I think, are you using anything that gives you another die, or is this?
Yeah, actually, my mind reading ability is 2 dice.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling 2 dice, and okay. No flux. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So you get this thing where you have his memory. You see this guy and you recognize him. You kind of are now putting name to a face with Varrigan. And as you're yeah. No, there's no description. He's wearing kind of a cloak. And it's a cloak with a hood, but he doesn't have the hood up. He has long hair. And he is toying in his hands with what looks like a medallion. Mm-hmm. It has an image of a cat on it. And considering, and he's like talking, but it's kind of clear that he's talking to somebody, but you can tell through this memory that he's really that the proprietor thinks he's just talking to thin air.
So I can't actually see the person that he's talking to?
No, you can't, because it's been removed from his mind, because it never happened. Except it did, but it didn't.
Right.
There are pieces
the
left over.
That he has with the cat on it. Do I recognize it? Like, is the cat a logo or a symbol?
It looks actually it's an ephemera object. You think you remember him having it. You remember Varrigan having it.
Okay. And you said I recognized Varrigan.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I recognized Varrigan from?
Just because I think I would like to A, get my brain off the hamster wheel for a second, and B, get some more knives from the players to sharpen. Okay. Why didn't you tell me where you recognize him from?
Oh no. Where do I recognize Varrigan from? I could give a really typical war answer, or I could give something that's maybe a little bit more interesting.
I will be happy with either one.
Do I have free reign here, Jim?
Yes, please.
Okay. Varrigan is one of Vor's exes.
Excellent. That's wonderful.
Sort of like a one night stand kind of fling thing. Like that's part of the reason why the name didn't really ring a bell for her, because that wasn't really what she was interested in at the time.
Sure.
And but on seeing Varigan's face, she's suddenly, oh no. And remembering that she sort of ghosted him. Fluid pronouns. And
Yeah. He goes by both he and they.
yeah, and now this is going to be really awkward because now she needs to talk to him, see if he knows anything about Limerence Street.
You also remember where he lives now.
Oh dear. Of course I do.
It makes sense.
I've been there, so yes.
You may. Yeah. It will occur to you that you may wish to gather your companions again before.
Yep, Vor's not going there
happens.
alone.
Yeah. You'll probably, I think. So that's definitely a thing.
I'll finish my little bar hop, like seeing if I can find any other info, and then I'll go wait for the rest of the group.
Okay. So yeah, you all sort of found out. Both you and Shanano found out that they're going to be that they're actually over at the bar cafe. So it's it's kind of head more uptown into Fartown more rather than not the whole of Satyrine. So there you don't have to do any trolleys or anything like that. You can take the Heel Toe Express there if you so desire. Briefly, let's see. We're going to say, I think just briefly, we're just going to say for the sake of timing and all that, that you're all able to meet back up there. Shantanu, when you got back to Satyrine, was there anything in particular you were doing or working on for like about an hour?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When you got back to Satyrine, was there anything in particular that you were working on or doing for about an hour? You got. Let me put it to you this way: when you came back to Satyrine, you were distracted by something for about an hour that seemed very interesting. What was it?
I mean, he'd be trying. They would be trying to figure out if it would even be possible to check out the dark side of the Gould at this point.
The night side of the Gould, yeah, that's. There's a path there. It's more sailing the seas probably, from what you're able to find out. You're able to get a little information about that, in that it's a lot of folks on this side don't like to go to the night side. But the interesting thing about the Gould is it's right at the edge of the Path of Suns, for anyone who's walking it kind of consecutively. So, in theory, you should be able to. There's the sort of crossing where some folks say the invisible sun is. It's it's very strange and theoretical, but then there's a way from there over to the other side, probably. Well, there has to be.
So theoretically, I could get there from almost anywhere.
Theoretically, yes.
Interesting.
He was just tapping into it. That's the trick. But you're able to. Shanano has encountered many people in travels, and so you managed to chat with a few folks briefly that you've of your acquaintance, and they're able to kind of mention that.
And I probably wouldn't have enough time to actually attempt it.
No, not right now, not today. But in the future, it might be possible. Preferably a future in which Jim has had a moment to study how to do that. Anyway, but that said, you will see Vor outside or inside. Vor probably went right in, I'm guessing. To the bar cafe. You'll see Vor going into the bar cafe. And this is actually as Her Elegance is getting ready to get up and go. She has picked up the check, and so Mac and Aroshka have completed their repast of the ocean of vanilla and the grilled cheese sandwich of certainty.
I just want to add that Mac actually has a takeout container. He only ate half of his sandwich, so there's this really fancy wrapped aluminum foil triangle in a nice little paper bag, all ready to go.
It can be dangerous to carry around something that certain, that sure of itself, into somewhere unprotected. It's good to get the tin foil on it, just in case.
He's gonna be petting it, and he's gonna just be like, well, this is I've never had such strong faith in anything. This is my anchor. This is my anchor to reality.
We're gonna start a religion around this sandwich.
I know, right? There's it may not be coincidence that the to-go box looks like a little church when you close it, perhaps.
Yeah.
So yeah. They gave you a to-go box, so that you have now half of the grilled cheese sandwich of certainty. A half that is just as this half of the sandwich is just as certain as the other half of the sandwich was. I'm quite sure. So bolstered with this, as you are preparing to exit, you find yourself running into Vor and Shantano.
How was your meal?
Productive, I guess.
That's good.
Faith inspiring.
Sounds like
Apparently, it's a very good sandwich.
I'll have to come back and try it sometime, I guess. So I think I know where we can find Varigan if we would like to have a word with him.
Oh, really?
Really, really.
Is it time to go
How'd you get
already?
that?
What was that, Shantanu?
I'm just saying, is it time to go already?
I mean, we don't have to. But I think it would be worth our time to at least go see if Varigan knows anything about all these strange lapses in memory and the loss of Limerence Street.
Yes, I guess that is a pressing matter.
I know I, for one, would like to get into Limerence Street.
Yeah.
Someone there I would like to talk to.
say let's go now. I mean, unless you have an objection.
No, not at all. Although we should probably swing by Shaw's place. I'd pick up that spirit.
Oh, right.
You'll want to go to Limerence Street too.
Well, yeah, we've got time. Let's stop by Shaw's and pick up the spirit, and then we'll go to Varigan's. It's on the way anyway.
Yeah. So you head back into your neck of the woods. As you leave the bar cafe, you see you see Her Elegance is surrounded by a cloud of paparazzi right now. So she's been having to deal with that. There are people who are also cameras. So as you're getting into into your neighborhood, on the east side of your neighborhood, you can smell that you can smell the slight nervousness in the air of the scented birds who are very slowly peeping out to make sure it's safe again. And you see the tower standing still. The kaleidoscopic spirit continuing to rotate around it, doing its job. And then you see outside of the mine, outside of Shaw's mine, you see that Thomas is playing with Blue, the cat.
Oh, hey, Thomas. Looks like you found a friend.
Hi.
In Blue.
And Thomas will run up to you. Hi. Yeah, she's very unusual. She doesn't want to help me at all, but she's funny.
Well, that's cats for you. So,
Blue just sort of raises a paw and waves. And she's lounging in the sun.
Yes. Well, you can lounge. Anyway, I'm glad that you're here. We've gotten some information, and we are going to act upon it.
Oh,
so,
good.
I assume you want to accompany us so that we can get you back to Limerence Street.
Yes, please. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what I was gonna do otherwise. I was lucky there was other folk here.
All right. Well, so Mac is just going to roll up his sleeves and form the little meditative exercise that will allow him to carry Thomas safely as a vessel.
Okay, yeah, sure. He's a ghost. I don't see why you can't. Yeah, you could probably you just use the same thing for everybody. So yeah, he'll. You've done this before, so you do that, and he will. He's there with you.
Fantastic. Well, that was easy. Where to next, Formera?
Oh, this way. And
Okay.
I'll lead everybody to Varigan's house.
Varigan's house is about sort of over on the map, over sort of in the northwest area of your neighborhood. It's across that empty lot where they have the World's Fair set up. And as you head over, his house, not too difficult to spot. Let's see. It's a little it's a little single story house. And it's surrounded by this overgrown yard. Reagan has not been taking care of his yard. Which, he wasn't that great at it before, but this is really bad. It's really kind of let it overgrow.
Things have gotten worse.
Yeah.
I just shake my head, like sort of disdainfully as we walk through up to the door.
Yeah, so you come up to this, it's sort of a green front door. What are we doing?
Is there a knocker or a doorbell or...
There is a knocker. It's in the shape of an ocelot head.
Okay. I look at everybody else. I'm like, you ready?
How do you know this place again?
Let's just say I've been here before.
Oh.
Once or twice.
Should we be bringing...
This doesn't really seem like a place that you would hang out at.
It was a limited engagement.
Oh.
Do we need to bring a gift or anything?
No. We don't need to, I don't think, bring a gift. I know Varigan, actually. I don't think we need a gift. And Bor just raps on the door, like doesn't really want to go into details anymore.
So you knock on the door, and you immediately hear this sort of like little tumbling from inside. It's like, and then nothing for a moment. And then it sounds like there's some shifting from inside, but doesn't sound like anyone's actually coming up to the door.
I'll knock again.
You knock. And again, there's a little more shifting. And you hear what sounds like glass breaking. Just sort of like like maybe something hitting the floor and breaking.
Shantano checks his body. He's like, it wasn't me.
Barry again?
No response.
I look back at everyone else. Okay, it's possible that he's not home, but the glass breaking inside really doesn't. Are there windows or anything that we could look into?
Yeah. He has a patio in the back.
Okay.
That has sort of fancy kind of almost French door type deals with windows you can look in through. So you remember that much.
Is it possible for me to get around to that patio?
Oh yeah.
And or is it possible for me to, since I have been here before, like, do I know where he keeps his spare key? Is it under a flower pot somewhere?
Yeah, actually it is. It's around back. There,
Right.
you know where the key to the back door is.
All right. Yeah.
And it's in a planter back there.
Okay. Yeah. I just start heading for that planter
Okay.
to go get the key.
So,
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go around back. I think I can get us in. I'll just get the key out of the planter and then go up to the patio door and just peer in.
Okay. So, let's see. Yeah. So, you see a couple of things as you're looking in. Yeah. You think, well, first of all, his kitchen looks like it's in a bit of disarray. See kind of pots and pans are kind of like, a couple of them are lying on the floor. It's a little weird. And you look past sort of his dining table. And you see what looks like a hand lying flat. Or sticking out from somewhere. A hand lying flat on the floor.
All right, I don't like this. And I open the door.
All right. You open the door.
But I also draw my sword cane, just in case.
All right.
Dangerous.
That's fair. So, patio doors of this kind, French doors, I guess they'll go in, into the house. Swingies, let's say they're going to swing in or out. I'm not sure. All right.
I think they would go in, I think.
They would probably, yeah. They swing in. So there's some curtains that you part, and there's a lot of sort of wooden facade stuff going on. So you hear something. It's like as you're entering, you're stepping on crossing the threshold, and you can see the hand is connected to an arm. Then you hear this kind of like, this sort of like scuttling sound from off to your left.
Do I see anything off to my left?
Yes.
Great.
As you're, so it's like, so there's this sort of mound of, this sort of collection of plates. They're kind of wobbling. The stack of plates are kind of wobbling, not a collection, it's a stack. You see there like a few things hanging on hooks that are hanging on a hook that are kind of swinging back and forth a little bit, as though they've just been touched.
Mac?
Yes.
Are there any spirits in here?
Oh, well, that's a good question. He's just going to glance casually around as he decides to draw his stick and knife, I guess.
You don't see any spirits. There is something pinging on there is something magical here thing going on. I'm going to draw a card real quick just to see where we are with a lot of things. And where we are, let's see, is the lucky coin once again.
Oh, hey, my favorite card.
So this is perhaps going to be helpful. We've had this recently before. Good fortune, wealth, freedom, unexpected luck, unstructured. 4 of notions. Silver is up, gold is down. So what we see going on here is that, so Mac, as you're kind of leaning in, I'm going to say that you hear something shift on a shelf. It's like you see a bowl sort of shifting. And a tea kettle leaps out onto the dining room table, sending a few things shattering. A couple of glasses and that bowl flying off the shelf and shattering. The tea kettle has legs.
I knew it.
At that same time, you see those things that were swinging on the shelves. There's like a colander and another pot leap up off the shelf, and they have legs, and they're starting to scuttle away. And this tea kettle is just kind of looking at you. I actually have a. I didn't put it in the Roll20, but I do have a picture that I can show. I can show the folks at home. So while I'm showing them that, let me also perhaps show you this, so that you will have some sense of that which we are looking at. Yeah.
Player has read the Black Cube and knows what this is.
Oh yes. That's good. That's very good. This is a phenomenon known as spidering. This is a case where pretty much inanimate objects will grow legs and begin moving about on their own. It is not known what causes this phenomenon precisely, but it does have to do with, has something to do with magic happening. Usually it does not happen in places where magic is not happening. Let me see if I can get this image in here to you real quick, and see if I can show you what exactly it is that I'm talking about.
Is it gonna spook the spider tea kettle if I go try to see who the hand belongs to and if it's Varrigan?
That is an excellent question.
I could always attempt to distract the tea kettle on account of because I am now capable of actually speaking to inanimate objects versus just sort of sensing what they think. I guess I'll go up to the tea kettle and be like, "It's okay. We don't mean any harm."
Spidering should now, by the way, a picture called Spidering should now be available in the handouts for you to see. Yeah, so you're going to go talk to this tea kettle, and as it's kind of like, and you can tell it's sort of primed to want to leap at you as you're getting closer. But let me see here. Yeah. I think what I'm going to need you to do, this is strangely enough, a tea kettle doesn't have much in the way of defenses for being talked to. But you hear it sort of, and you hear it gnashing teeth from somewhere. You don't see the teeth, but you're pretty sure it has them. Yeah, so this is a level 2 tea kettle.
I was going to say that the language of the voiceless is level 4, no cost to use. I can speak to any inanimate object. This ability does not grant me any particular influence over objects I speak to, nor does it compel them to speak.
Okay.
So they can speak to me, but they don't have to.
Okay. So,
But
this...
I can see that Arushka's trying to talk to them and cast my spell. On
what do you
them.
want to cast?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, let me pull up. I have valuable acquaintance. They become chatterboxes. It might not be relevant or what information they're trying to...
I keep forgetting about that freaking spell. Okay.
While they're doing this, I'm just going to slowly, very slowly edge my way toward the hand.
Okay, well, let's see how successful they are at distracting it, so that I will know whether it does anything as a result of your doing that. So yeah, What do you need to do to cast the spell?
Oh gosh, I have to pull up the spell.
Chatterboxing. I mean, it's a level 2 creature. It doesn't have any particular defenses against this.
It's a level 1 spell.
Okay, so that's 1.
Wait. So I guess I can add spell points into it, right? Or not spell points, bene.
Yeah.
To pump up the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, yeah. If you do that, if you put 1 in, then it's gonna be you're gonna be at a 2, and so you're gonna be successful.
Let's do that. I just want to check on this spell real quick, just to make sure. Here we go. Someone who does not wish to speak to me becomes very talkative. They're not necessarily willing to say what I want, but at least they're not reticent.
Right.
It ends after the encounter. It just says level 1 plus 1 die.
Okay. Did you want to pump anything into it, or do you just want to basically roll a 1 or better? Remember, you can roll less than a 1. A 0 is a 0 on these dice.
Let's make it an automatic success.
Okay. So yeah, if you pump 1, if you want to pump a bene into it through.
Does that go into sortilege or sorcery?
I'm pretty sure that. Okay, man, I'm gonna actually look at the rules now. Imagine looking at the rules. I mean, honestly, actually, the more I think about it, I mean, do you want to use? Are there any attributes you want to use on this? Because that might just. Let's see. If you have any skills for this, you can do that as well. But let's see. Bene or points that pulls and increases the action. Gain special effects. It's not an enhancement. Yeah, it's. I think it's the. I think it's sorcery because I think sortilege is the extra die. But let me check, because I may have that the wrong way around. It's been a while since anyone has cast a spell here. Let's see. Sorcery. Sortilege is. Use a raw magical to undertake any action. So using magic to manipulate assigns quality of points to the sortilege pool. That's not it. Sorcery. Also, power spells the cost of 1 bene per spell level, and spending bene to power spell, and the only limit is the number of bene in your sorcery pool. Yeah, that'll. Since bene is pointed to normal limit of 1 bene, you can add 1 additional bene to increase the level of a spell, and thus add +1 to your venture. So yeah, it's sorcery.
Okay.
So yeah, if you do that, then it's going to talk. The question is, will its attention be divided? Probably. It's a tea kettle, probably. What are you saying to it, Arushka?
I'm just trying to reassure it that all is well. It need not freak out.
The nature of spidering is unusual. But let me see here. Where did it go? All right, here it is. And it's just basically why are you confining me? I'm not here to be confined. I'm going to I'm going to crawl anywhere I want. I can crawl anywhere I want now. This is my mandate. I can do whatever I want. I can crawl all over you if I want to. You want to see? I can totally do it. I can totally do it. Vor, it is Very again. He is lying on the floor. He is not looking well.
Is there something I can do? Is he unconscious?
Hang on, I'm looking for the thing. Oh yeah, there it is. Well, he's I think about I think he's gone way past unconscious because you see you sort of pull his cloak back as you're looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
And you see he's been stabbed through the chest. So he is no longer with us. He has been stabbed through the chest by, it looks like, well, it's hard to say. There's a hole, and it looks like it was some sort of blade, as far as you can tell.
Is there any sign of like a struggle or anything in the room?
Yeah, things are all over the place.
Well, this is really, really unfortunate. It's as if no one wants us to find this limerence stream.
Crazy.
Can I search his pockets?
You absolutely can. Arashka, what is your approach to containing this spider right now? This spider kettle.
Containing it?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do with it? I grabbed the word contain, but that might not be the word I'm looking for.
I literally am just because I can talk to objects even when they can't walk around. So literally, I'm like, I could probably talk to this object. It just has legs. How convenient. Hey, tea kettle, we're friends, but I say this in whatever language tea kettles speak.
You speak language. Sounds like whistling. The language of tea kettles.
I whistle in a comforting fashion at it.
Okay, you are trying to calm this kettle down. It is blathering at you about wanting to basically stab into the horrible humans that mistreat it, and basically it's turning a little murderous here. So you're trying to calm down the tea kettle. It is again. It's got a challenge rating of 2 because it's a tea kettle. What do you want to do? What do you want to use?
Okay. Do my skill that I'm trying to think of what I can add to this. My skills include things which possibly are useful. One is persuasion, one is understanding people's motives, charm, and also animal training.
I think any of those would be fine here, really. So actually, you've got enough pretty much in various skills to just to get an automatic success on this. So, what do you tell it?
I just tell it that we don't want to impede it in any way. We're just here to check on the human that's apparently dead, so it can go on its tea kettle way. And please don't attack us.
Just like doing this. Will you let me out?
I point to the open door. Lead him
It
that
leaps.
way.
It leaps and it races out the door.
Wave as it leaves.
Yeah. Vora, as you're searching very again, and Mac, you'll probably be the first to notice this. You do hear more shifting around happening in one of the other rooms of the house.
Does it sound like more spiders, or does it sound like it might be like a person?
Let me see. This sounds more wooden. It's like wood striking wood. It's like...
Big spider, maybe.
Why not? I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, no, hang on. Just cover me for a few minutes, and I am going to actually start creating a protective circle into the ground because I am going to summon a spirit.
Here we go. Dun dun dun. So let's see. Summoning. Do you have summoning in front of you by any chance?
I do.
Excellent. What's the first step?
All right. I decide what entity I want to summon.
Okay, excellent. Who are you summoning?
I am going to summon Lord Joffrey. I'm sorry, did I get the name wrong?
Wait, what?
Sir Godfrey.
Sir Godfrey, okay.
Sorry.
I was very concerned that you were summoning
Yeah.
a Game of Thrones character because
My bad.
we don't have the licensing rights for that. But no. But yes. Right. I summoned George R. R. Martin's lawyer. Ha ha! No. No. But yes. So you are. So you're going to summon Sir Godfrey. And so you're drawing a summoning circle. How long does this typically take, do you think? Let me see if I can actually even... Is it on the Goetic handout? Maybe it is.
Hey, that's what I'm looking at right now.
I shall look at it too. All right. Okay. Yeah, Sir Godfrey's a level 3. You spend sorcery equal to the level of the entity, which is also the challenge. If he's unwilling, he's not unwilling. He's your buds. You're choosing the type of colloquy, which can be a conversation, payment of gifts, a threat, or a trick.
I'm going to go with the conversation.
Conversation, okay. And all right, so you're setting that. It's not going to take long. Vor, do you continue searching the body, or are you abandoning that to check out the other room?
I will finish up my search of the body while Mac is doing his summon.
Okay, while this is going on, what are Aroshka and Shantano doing?
I don't know. Ushering more spidery things out the door.
Okay. Do you go looking for more spidery things, or are you going to stay in the kitchen for right
might
now?
as well. Let's just get rid of them, and they're not an issue for us. Fairly well, little spiders. Out the door you go. We'll be free.
All right. So, yeah, there were a couple of like those other little things that are clattering around the kitchen that kind of scamper out. You kind of look into the next room. Sort of, it's a sort of living room type area. Shantano, are you going with Aroshka, or are you staying in the kitchen?
I think Shantano's going to be a bit nosy and look at items of interest, like if there's pictures or mementos and things like that.
All right. But do you do that in the living room or in the kitchen? I think is my question.
Probably the living room.
Okay, so you go into the living room. And yeah, you see that there is a what looks like there's a dresser, sort of a chest of drawers that is like sort of bashing its shoulders at the front door, and then it scuttles around on its legs. And it's like starting to, and It's you think it maybe it's seen you and it's starting to scuttle toward you. I will let Vor know that you have found a few things on the body of your ex. You have found. First of all, he's wearing that medallion still, with the cat on it.
Take it.
And you now have a cat with a medallion with a cat with a medallion on it. That's something entirely different. You now have a medallion with a cat on it, and he has stuff in his pockets. He has he has what looks like a little glass container with some kind of herb in it, a little green-looking herb, and he's got a round sort of vial with silvery liquid in it.
Do I think these are other ephemera?
Yes, these are all ephemera.
Okay.
And he also, in his deep in his pocket, he's got in his robe pocket. He has this piece of paper that's wrapped around what seems like a couple of coins.
Okay. I want to look at that paper.
This piece of paper. I am now showing to you in the handouts. And while you're looking at that, meanwhile, so Mac, you're going to be you're going to be summoning you're summoning Sir Godfrey. He is appearing in the circle. As he is appearing, you can sort of hear him. You can hear him coming, and he's speaking to you. He says, "Ah, my dear fellow, what have we going on today?"
Oh, it seems like there's murder afoot. And this house is full of objects that seem to want to murder us.
Indeed.
Yeah.
How dare they? Objects should know their place.
That's right. And I feel like we're not exactly intimidating. However, you are. And I think you could probably dissuade them from, trying to objectify us.
Objects are there to be... I can't even finish the sentence. All right. He's gonna... Objectifying objects, eh? Now, there's a bit of a twist. Very well, point me at them. All right, as that's happening. Back in the living room, Arashka and Shantanu, it appears you're about to be attacked by a dresser. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm gonna try to calm the dresser down too.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you want to be free? Look at that open door over there."
Yeah, Shantanu's just gonna try to back off and hope it doesn't attack them.
Okay. All right. So the dresser is a level 4 creature. So, what do you want to use here?
Well, I don't know if it. Oh, I guess it doesn't, because let's say I have the language of the voices, so it can understand me.
Oh, it can
helps.
understand you.
I still have level 2 animal training and level 1 in persuasion, understanding motives, and charm. I'm the best at talking to inanimate objects.
This is funny, really. It's just like your character is geared very specifically to do one thing. And it's like they wrote the scenario specifically.
I'd be like, hey.
specifically for you to roll over it. So, yes, all those skill levels combined will mean you add up to more than 4. So you don't have to roll anything. What?
Roshka's like, I was made for this.
You're just sort of sidling
Finally,
back and
I'm
forth.
useful.
It's like, oh my god.
Team who talk to the things.
It's sidling back and oh god. Okay, I think I know what's gonna happen. So it's sidling back and forth, and it's like it just sort of like opens a couple of its drawers in succession, and a few clothes fly out and land on the floor. It sort of goes. I can run free.
Yeah.
It's not a trick, is it?
No, the guy who owned you is really, really dead, so he doesn't need you anymore. And you have legs now.
Free at last! Free to run! Free to... And he immediately will start. You see this chest of drawers starting to tromp merrily into the kitchen, where it is immediately besieged by a flying polar bear who launches itself at it, taken completely unawares as its sword comes down.
It was safe to leave.
Through the top drawer. Have at you, foul creature! Ah!
No.
It almost made it. It almost made it to the door. Or there's a large armored polar bear fighting a chest of drawers in the kitchen now. Just so you'll know.
Oh, Roshka's like, no, I told it it could leave.
Porch just finishes picking this guy's pockets, and she's got all this stuff, and she's like,
the chest of drawers and Sir Godfrey are rolling over and over, and he's like he's punching it in the middle drawer at this point.
we should probably get going.
No, I want to watch this.
Actually, when Max says that, Vor looks over at him and goes, 10 orbs on the dresser.
No way. Godfrey's got this.
Oh my god.
You're on.
Jonathan, have you been looking around? What have you been doing?
At this point, I guess I'm looking around we're in the bedroom now, right?
There's a bedroom, yeah. There's a door from here to the bedroom, if you want to go there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. Wait, I have to look something up. Hold on just a second. I have to find out what a particular thing is. I need to describe this appropriately, and it's one of those things that I do not. Oh dear. Okay, that's what that is. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Shantano, you go into the bedroom, and you're looking around. Well, you hear this sort of scuffling going on in the other room, and you see a few things in here. There's a bed that's kind of sort of a divan. It's kind of a sort of a fainting couch type deal, almost, really, but it's sort of a. It's like almost a box spring, but it's got just sort of it's hemmed in by a couple of sides, really, on 3 sides with sort of paneling.
So it's a day bed.
Yeah, it's like a day bed, which that is indeed the that which Varigan slept on, and Shantano wouldn't know this for certain, but one of your party does. there's a so in here, among a few other things, there's a couple of things. Chandano, you do notice. There are a few pictures. There's a picture hanging up on the wall, and then there's a picture on a night table next to a book. And I think I remember you said you were looking at the pictures. Where is it? What am I looking for? It's over here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot. Yeah, Variagan didn't have a lot. He wasn't very wealthy. But you see the book. Well, okay, on the wall, the picture on the wall. It's like he's Variagan standing with. It looks like there's room for him to be standing with several other people, but he's only standing with one other person. It's a woman. But they're standing as though there are other people in the picture. That's the weird thing. They're positioned as though there's a lot of room. And they're standing somewhere in Silver Hill, you think, in the Silver Hill neighborhood, probably in front of the obelisk that's there. It's not an obelisk so much. There's a statue. There's a statue up on a pillar in Silver Hill that we haven't really gotten into describing, but you recognize it. And there's this on the side table. There's this book, this sort of black leather-bound book, and next to it is another. It looks like there's another picture that's been turned down.
I think Shantano would take the picture where there's space for a group. Probably take that down to show to everyone else.
Okay.
And take a look at the book and downturned photo.
Okay. So you move the downturned photo so you can. Do you take a look at it?
Yes.
It's Vor. It's like a. It's actually just a just sort of random picture of her standing in front of the fountain, the whispering fountain, the Susurrus fountain. But yeah, it looks like, maybe he took it. Sorry, but looks like maybe it was taken a little while ago. And
Then what's the book of?
Well, as you're looking, you're sort of picking up the book to look at it, and the title is "The Secrets of the Adherence."
Ooh, secrets.
As you pick this book up, you hear a rumbling sound. There's this the room feels like it's shaking a little bit. And the divan leaps at you.
Yes, of course it does.
So this is going to be you defending against an attacking piece of furniture. And this particular piece of furniture is pretty big. Size of a bed. It's a level 5.
I just need to look up this ability.
It's currently trying to lever itself up on a couple of its hind legs and smash you against the wall.
Okay, so I have defensive splintering. It's level 2. When I'm attacked, I splinter to many pieces and then reform instantly. When I'm splintered, some attacks pass right through me. I gain +1 to all dodge defense actions. This is not an action in and of itself.
Okay.
So you said it's level 5?
It's level 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's level 5 being. It's a level 5 divan. Oddly enough, amongst its skills, it says nothing about comfort. I don't understand.
Let's see. Let's see if I have any
It
skills.
says nothing about helping people sleep. It has only
Would-
stuff for combat. I don't understand why.
Would survival help me with this?
I think it would.
And I don't know if understanding motive would help.
Probably not. It's a bed.
Yeah. It's also stealth. I don't know if stealth would do anything.
No, it knows you're there.
Okay. All right. So I guess says that. Do I have to roll a die for that, or?
So what? How many levels of stuff are you bringing in here?
So it's level 2. Or it gives me +1 to dodge.
Okay. What's your?
And have survival.
Okay. And so that's at least 2 levels of stuff. Do you have anything else that particularly helps you dodge? Do you have a skill of some kind?
No, just survival.
Okay. So you're going to need a 3 or better unless you want to bring magic into it. Well, actually, yeah, you are bringing magic into it. You're splintering.
Right.
But unless that says you get an extra die, then
It just says +1 to dodge and defense.
+1 to dodge. Okay. Yeah. So that'll if you want to make it like I said, you can there are things you could do if you want to like make it if you want to make it magical. There's like spending of the sortilege for that. But yeah. Aside from that, you'd need a 3 or better on 1 die.
Then it's a single die roll.
Yeah, unless you want to do something to
Right.
throw more into this. Like I said, you could spend if you wanted to spend a point to get basically to make it magical. Then you can get an extra die that way.
Yeah, okay, so I guess I'll do is it a point of sortilege?
I believe that is correct. I just looked at it, but I'm going to look at it again because these things we need to look at. Yeah, sortilege is you can basically use your raw magical might to influence any action you're doing.
Right.
Or anyone else is doing.
All right, so that's 2d10, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, all right, you did get a 3 on the magic die, so you're good. So yes. So what are you doing? What does this look like? Are you splintering? What's happening?
Yeah, essentially it's like looks like if you've seen those slow motions of glass just exploding. It looks like that. And the what was it? Is it a what is it that comes at me?
It's a bed. It's sort of a day bed.
Right.
It's like,
And so the daybed seems to pass through as it's charging at me, you know.
okay.
And
Slams against the wall.
Immediately after it passes through, I reform back.
Okay. Are you hanging around in the bedroom, or are you doing something else?
At that point, I want to try and grab the book and the picture and run out.
Yeah, you've got those. Yeah. Okay. So, back in the kitchen. Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, the this chest of drawers has clambered up because it has 8 legs. It has clambered up onto the stove, and sort of a racket kind of wedges itself up and fires its bottom drawer out at Sir Godfrey, who is going to take it in the noggin as he goes down for a moment, and he's like, "Ah, how dare you!" And it looks like, well, it's out of ammunition, so that helps. But it looks like it might get the upper hand here.
Oh, well, we can't have that happen. Mac is going to intercede with a flying sidekick at the...
Vor doesn't intervene, but she watches Mac go by, and as he does, she goes, "The bet is void."
Sorry, I can't let my bud down.
You owe me 10 orbs.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that the dead guy over there will cover it. You did pick his pockets.
Yeah. I will tell you, Vor, that actually inside that piece of paper were wrapped 2 mage coins.
Oh, I'm pocketing those. Which I definitely want to have a conversation about this piece of paper, but preferably not when we are in the middle of a house spider.
Yeah, it might be a problem. So, Mac, you're going to you're going to kick at this thing. I'm pretty sure you have skills that'll be able to, combined with Sir Godfrey, be able to get rid of this. But tell me for a moment what it is you're bringing to bear against this this level 4 chest of drawers.
I am going to be bringing in my. I guess the skill is breaking objects, which is level 1. And 1 second. I have a skill, and I don't actually remember.
Do you have carpentry?
I do not have carpentry.
Thought I'd check. That's it.
Yeah.
Shaw might be good at fighting this thing too. Actually, come to think of it.
No, I haven't gotten a chance to relearn close combat yet. So I guess
Okay.
it's just breaking objects.
Okay, so that's 1 level. Do you want to bring anything else in, or do you want to? It would be down to a 3. I'll actually give you the fact that it's focused on Sir Godfrey as an asset, so actually you'll only need a 2 or better.
Okay. What am I rolling? Just physicality?
Yeah, basically you're just rolling your 1 die.
Okay. I'll add
Benny?
a Benny from physicality.
Sure. All right, brings it down to 1. 1 or better. You rolled a 1 or better. That's all you needed.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm glad I added that Benny. So
Yeah. You kick this thing. This chest of drawers did not know it hit it. It tumbles out the back door, and begins scampering away. Just as you do this, Eroshka, you will notice that Shantano emerges from the is racing into the room from the bedroom, being pursued by a divan.
Oh no!
A daybed is chasing Shantano right now.
Like, I told that one he could leave, and now it's getting attacked, and that one's attacking Shantano. Ah!
It's like turning and trying to get through the bedroom door. It's going to get through in a minute, but it's like there's a brief shining moment as it's like looking through. Anyway,
Shantano, are you okay?
Is it still chasing me?
Yeah, it's trying to. You've just gotten through the door.
Yes,
The doorway.
It's stuck.
Maybe. We'll see if it can come through or not.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to in a moment. It just needs to move a little bit. It's upset with you.
Wow.
Do we need anything else here before?
I think there's probably a lot of stuff we can get here.
Yeah.
But
Yes, but is it worth getting attacked by bedroom furniture?
I think we should probably go. We can always come back.
We're just getting warmed up.
Hiroshika, you hear the bed crying out, "I'm going to tear them limb from limb!"
Let's let all the furniture spider out of here, and then maybe we can come back.
Yes, leave all the doors open. Mostly it just wants to be free, which it can be now because its owner's dead.
I'm pretty. I don't know. It looks really angry, and I did bring Sir Godfrey, so I'm pretty sure he's going to want to redeem himself upon this daybed.
It's like, what? There's another one? Point me at it.
Yeah, right over there. And he's just going to point at the daybed trying to come in through the door.
With my empathic abilities, can I tell if it's angry or just trying to leave?
It is pissed because you just sort of you dispersed out of its way. It wants your blood.
Like, oh, I think it wants more than just to get out of the house. Oh no.
But
And let this be a lesson to any other furniture in this place.
you see, Hiroshika, you just sort of hear a hat rack in the corner kind of go, "Oh."
I'm gonna yell at it. I'm gonna be, once we leave, you can do whatever. Sorry.
So, you're cut off by a large polar bear that comes charging through. An armored polar bear wielding a sword, trying to.
And
leaps forward toward this divan and slices it down the middle, and the divan is now even more upset.
Oh, really? Well, Mac is just going to look at his screaming stick and his knife, and I'm like, this is not good for fighting off furniture. So he's going to put those away, and he's going to actually pick up the hat rack and charge at the daybed as well.
Hey, what are you doing? I wasn't doing anything. Only Hiroshika hears that. All right. So you make a coordinated attack against this vicious daybed with your friend. So again, you have an asset for attacking with Godfrey. This is a level 5 daybed, and he's kind of trying to keep it at bay, I think, right now more than anything. Anything else you want to bring into this?
Yeah, so I'm going to add another physicality bean.
Gotcha.
Got breaking objects. And I guess I'll throw in an accuracy as well.
Okay. So it's physicality, breaking objects, and what was the other one?
Accuracy.
Accuracy? Okay, yeah, so you need one or better. Okay, so you have a choice here. You have got it pinned at this point. It's not going to make it out into the living room. So your choice here is that you can waylay it long enough for everybody to get out, and then you'll be able to get out yourself. Or you can stay here and try to basically to finish it off if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm going to end this daybed.
Arash just like, but it has legs. It can be free now.
So the daybed will take some damage. It's already taken 1 damage from Sir Godfrey, who was able to get at it just because it was temporarily confined. It's got oh man, it's got like 1 wound left. So assuming I'm reading this correctly, which who knows? It's a daybed. So, it actually does have a level of withstand. I didn't even look at that. That's all right. I'm looking at it now. There we are. So yeah, basically, I think between the two of you, just in the interest of not turning this into just a series of rolls. So yeah, Mac. It appears so. Vor, Arushka, and Shantanu. It appears as though Mac and Sir Godfrey are holding the bed off. Do you wish to stay, or do you wish to go?
I'm going. I'm getting out of this house. Everything is spidering, and I think I have what I need anyway in this note. So I just take the keys and just walk out.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, there's a bed that's mad at me. I'm following.
Rashka, what are you doing? What's Arushka doing?
I'm leaving. I don't be here. I'll leave some doors open for you. I yell as I make my way out.
Yeah. You leave the doors open, and actually at this point, when you open the front door, the sofa gets up and just walks out. It clearly was listening to you.
Good for you, sofa.
You all come out. There's the sound of great violence from the house, and much smashing of wood. You come back around to the front of the house, and you see feathers just sort of escaping from it as though from a mattress.
Oh.
And a few minutes later, Mac and Sir Godfrey will emerge from the house victorious.
I think as
yeah, go ahead.
As Shantano's leaving the house with following Vor, he hands Vor the singular picture of her that he found that they found in the bedroom.
Yeah. It's a photo. Yeah, it's a photo that Varigan took of you in front of the fountain, the Susurrus fountain.
I look at it and go,
Hey, was that photo in like a shrine with candles around it?
haha.
What did the end of the bed look like, by the way? What when you defeated it? Was there anything, Mac, that you wanted to, in particular, as you were taking it apart?
No, but Mac is going to be pretty pleased with the hat rack, so he's just going to actually carry the hat rack out and brandish it like a staff.
Yeah, the hat rack hadn't spidered yet, so it comes out. It's like, why are you using me to hurt people? Why? You don't hear that. Only Arushka hears that.
So he's just gonna look at the hat rack and spin it around and like, this is pretty handy. No.
Like,
I mean, I guess it probably would have been better in retrospect if we were using more heavier bludgeoning weapons like a warhammer or a mace or something, right, Sir Godfrey?
Yes, indeed. It was a mighty staff, though. As it turned out, this hat rack is made of sterner stuff than one should previously think based upon its appearance.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about the humble weaponry, but thank you for your service. It was a pleasure to fight alongside of you once again.
'Twas an honor, sir. And he will and he's like, and he will then drift off into his back to where he goes to get spirit drinks. Are you all just going to sort of wait outside the house, or where are you going to go somewhere?
I'm gonna go find like a bench or something on the street and sit down and look at this a little bit more.
Yeah, you go across the street, a little bit of a ways down. You have to go a little ways down to find the bench. So you're a little ways down the street from the house. So you have this note, and you have these other items. Shantano has a book and now one photograph from the house.
Do I recognize the names in here? So M might be, and who Mercy is.
Okay, hang on. Let me see here.
Since I knew Very again.
Yeah. So. One second. I'm going to I just have to pull up something real quick so that I can make sure I know who these people are. The answer is kind of yes, but let me make sure. Yes, yes, right, that's right. You're only given these things piecemeal. Hold on, let me open the other one. Yay! Come on. Okay, skipping to doing the document that skips to the end so that I can see the information. All right. Hang on, just going through here just so we have it. Yeah. Yeah, so you knew Mercy. You remember Mercy. She lived on Limerence Street. You're imagining a sort of middle-aged woman, sort of roundish face, and billowing cloud-like hair. That's the image you're getting. She, if you recall, she was in possession of a thing called the Lackless Key.
Okay.
And did a business in getting answers for people about certain things. Let's see. M. That's a good question. So, sorry, go ahead.
So the other thing I want is, do I know where 13 Station is? Is that?
Yeah, you know where it's. That actually you don't think disappeared. That's that was at the end of another street up there. I think it might actually be on the map. Let me look. And I will see if it is in fact on the map. Yeah, it's at the end of Imago Street.
Okay.
So it did not disappear.
All right. I'll show everyone else the note.
Okay, let me go ahead and show everyone the note so that everyone will have the ability to see it. Everyone should now... Let me actually do a thing here. I'll put it in everyone's journals. That'll make it easier. There we go. Everyone should now have access to Varigan's note. And the audience will as well, as I will show it to them.
And I will show everyone this and say, Varigan had this in his pocket. The name Mercy rings a bell, but I think we maybe should go to 13th Street or 13th Station and look for these ghosts.
And Mac, you kind of hear Thomas think, I don't know if those are. That's. I don't think those are real ghosts. It's weird. It's a weird place. For those of us who may be only listening to what we're to us rather than seeing us, the note reads, "Dear M, I attempted to use an invocation to get us some help, but something went wrong and now strange things are happening in my house. I'm going to leave here and go to 13 Station. Remember how Mercy said that their ghosts were these? Maybe they're still there. If that doesn't work, I'm going to beg the third hand for help. Signed, Varigan."
If not, if there's nothing at 13th Station, then we can see if we can try to figure out what this third hand is.
I think Shantana would be reading through the Book of Secrets as well.
Ah. So that book. Yeah, it's going to take a little time to go through. Let me see if I can actually pull up the relevant information here. Yeah, The Secret of the Adherence. It doesn't have any author attribution, but it looks like, at first glance, it's full of a lot of different ideas and information. It's going to probably take about a day to read it. And let me see here. Actually, let me go ahead and look at one little thing also, because I have to see how we define a thing. Okay, yeah. In the back of the book, sort of coming out, falling out, there's this detailed sort of little bundle of papers that were kind of were all sort of bound together very tightly, very thinly. It's a very thin little sort of smaller book being put inside, back cover of a larger book type deal. And it looks like one might call it a monograph, sort of a detailed written study. Looks as though it is. It might be. It looks like an invocation.
The note mentions an invocation.
Right. So probably.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Might this be the invocation that the note speaks of?
Quite possibly. Is there any way for us to tell at a cursory glance what this invocation is? Like, does it have a name?
Yes, beseech.
Beseech what?
Well, it's the that is how the invocation itself is named. And let me look this over here. Yeah, it's actually for those of you playing along at home. Beseech is in the way on page 31.
Well, it's likely that this is the invocation that Varigan tried to perform.
Should we test it out after checking out the ghosts?
We'd have to get the ingredients. But maybe we could try.
Perhaps it's something best done with more than one person.
Yeah, I would think so. And probably best done, we'd probably want to find a location. If this is the same invocation mentioned in the note, then the last thing we want is to spider one of our own houses.
So you're saying we should do this at Shaw's mine?
If she'll let us. I'm not doing it at my house, that's for sure.
Unless anyone here wouldn't mind spider artifacts.
So I think this is the perfect moment where, in the background, there's this sort of, as you're having this conversation, there's this rumbling, this loud rumbling, and you see the house just raise up into the air on 8 new legs. As it sort of staggers around for a moment, and then goes out across the street and onto the vacant lot, and is terrifying a few people who are making their way to the to the World's Fair, and then just sort of
going back
and steadily turns around and starts heading in the direction of the ocean.
And that's why I'm
you
not
did-
doing that at my house.
Yeah.
No, I think we should go check out the station. Maybe see about this hand thing, and then maybe we try to perform this invocation. See what we get.
All right, I think that is where we're going to end it, with the sight of a majestic little house making its way back to the ocean from which all things came. Well, we're going to.
What are the odds of a mine growing legs and wandering off?
I don't even know how that would work.
Yeah, it's probably totally safe.
Or a Jenga tower, even.
Oh no.
Jenga tower does already move.
This woman's not there.
That'll totally fix it. Just spider that thing.
Yeah, worth considering, for sure.
That'll be perfectly safe. Awesome. Yay! Okay, well, you survived the house. We shall go around and do our outros. At which point we may gather our thoughts. Any say where folks can find you, and then give any final thoughts about this session. And we shall go to Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. You can find me on Twitter at @RyRockandTor, and you can find me on Instagram at @SallyAlata. I tweet a lot about D&D and other TTRPGs and nerd things like books and media. You can find me on Wednesdays and Friday nights on Variant Rolls. Wednesdays is Dungeons and Deductibles, my fantasy insurance claims adjusters game. And Friday nights, I play Harmony Ward in the Dresden Files RPG game that we have going on over there right now, which just keeps getting better and better. I mean, this past week, there was a Necromancer and the Black Court Vampire, and then something using the Black Court Vampire as mouthpiece. So, drama. And then also on Tuesdays, I am over on Scraticus's channel, DMing the Choir of Elements. We only have 3 episodes left in the season, 2 episodes left in the season, so it's going to get dramatic. Come say hi.
Were there any?
Oh yeah, favorite parts. The whole spidering thing. I just love it. I read that in the books in the Black Cube, and I was like, this is the most glorious thing. It's so weird, but really wonderful. And so I'm really glad we got to encounter a house that was spidering today.
Yay! It's one of those things where as I was reading the scenario and as I was going into this whole thing, I was like, okay, all right, this should be interesting. They're going to sort of dealing with things with that with the house, and it could be there's probably going to be some more serious investigative stuff. And then I remembered as we were getting into it, wait, they're fighting furniture. That's how this happens. It's how this happens. Anino, hey.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter, the friendliest place on earth, at Anino Gaming. I had a great time today. My favorite part was honestly kind of ruining Hiroshika's peaceful resolution to the spidering by bringing in a giant polar bear in plate mail. You can find me on Twitter. I'm still doing Extra Life. I've got about 2 weeks left before game day. Giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite, just $75 short of that reach goal. So donate if you can. If not, well, I will stick my polar bear amigo on you or something. Anyway, you can find me again on Jim's mini campaign this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Don't Rest Your Head, where I play Maru Wonder, a former concept artist for Tempest Entertainment.
It's a sad thing is it took me for some reason until the end of the session to remember what Tempest Entertainment referred to. I don't know why. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Hey, Arras. I'm so sorry. We ruined your wonderful plan.
It was such a good plan.
You had it.
My abilities were useful for once. It was probably my favorite part. Convincing small beleged objects and large beleged objects to do stuff. I'm just so convincing if you're an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Once again, I'm Arras or Animus Panthera. You can find me mostly on Twitter, where I am a real life zoologist and I cosplay and I like to play tabletop games and I like to chat about all of those things. The only place you can watch me play games right now is right here, playing Invisible Sun on Saturdays.
Excellent, and we are delighted to have you. Wilde, hey.
Yes, hi. I'm Wilde Engineer, at Wilde Engineer on Twitter. Gosh, I really liked the whole episode. And I guess I also particularly liked realizing that Shantano is just that person who just wants to know secrets. Yeah. Like, why? Yeah, being attacked by the bed was great. You can find me on Tuesdays on Greyhawk channel for some D&D, on Thursdays on Welcome to the Party for some Super Sentai Power Rangers-ish version of Masks: A New Generation. And on Fridays, I run my own game of Masks: A New Generation. And you can also catch me tomorrow back here, where I am going to run 10 candles. Yeah, fun horror RPG.
I can't wait. We were talking over our we were chatting back and forth about characters like shortly before I set up here today, and I think it's going to be very cool. I think it's going to be very cool. But once again, as for me, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, and YouTube channel. And indeed, tomorrow, we are having... Wilde is running 10 candles for us. So I will actually get to play this time. And I cannot wait. Wilde was kind enough to provide us with the Roll20 setup for it, which I used last week, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing this from the player's side. Let's see what else is happening. As already mentioned, on Tuesday evening we have our short campaign happening this month for October of Don't Rest Your Head. This campaign is subtitled the Art of Insomnia, and where once again I will continue to lose my mind over the whole metaphor of the difficulty of making a living in the arts and the nightmares that ensue as a result. It's a very personal journey for me now.
The thing is that none of us pre-planned it. We all just decided that we were going to... The most horrible thing that you can be as an insomniac is a struggling artist.
Exactly. So that'll be fun. As we continue to get to deeper into the Mad City and my own sanity unravels. So you can watch me snap live on Twitch. It'll be great. Then as we continue going, well, it brings us back nothing else in between then and officially then between then and Saturday, which will be more of this, and we'll see how things progress. And I cannot wait. This is getting good. It's really good. It's been good, but I'm really enjoying seeing you folks take apart this mystery. Again, sign-ups are open right now. Finally, I got the sign-up forms up for the one-shot at the end of the month, which will be Trail of Cthulhu. I'm going to tackle that one. That is a somewhat more narrative type deal, using, again, it's Call of Cthulhu, but it uses the gumshoe system, which is written specifically for investigation. And I've never actually had a chance to play it before, so I'm interested in seeing how that goes. Sign-ups are open for that. Sign-ups are also open for next month's short campaign, which will be Alas for the Awful Sea. That is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's set in the 19th century around the British Isles. Folks are in a sailing ship and sort of getting caught up in things happening, in desperation of local communities and their politics and their mysteries and their murders, and then how that all defies the wrath of the sea and its creatures, and the local folklore comes to life. So if there's any interest in any of that, please sign up. You can click on the sign up link below, or again, go to jimyesthatjim.com, click on Game Sign Up, and there'll be links to both of those sign up forms. Sign-ups for Trail of Cthulhu will probably be open for another couple of days, then I got to start casting, probably by like Monday or Tuesday, probably more like Tuesday. So there's still a little leeway if folks want to go and sign up for that, and I can then siphon through all that, figure out who's going to be in that, and then sign-ups for Alas for the Awful Sea will be open through Wednesday the 30th of this month. So there's little time, but I encourage folks to dive in. It's an open schedule, once again, is how I've been doing this for the last few months. So just put down what your availability, and how those intersect is how I'll figure out who's going to be in it, basically. But again, as always, beginners are more than welcome. So let's see, when we hit the end card, who shall we go forth and raid? Shall we raid? Wait, let me take a look here and see if they're still streaming. thinking of going to Imperator Penguin, and they have a commercial going right now, but I'm going to trust that that means they're still in fact streaming. So let's go and say hello to Tommy and them when they... Yep, they're talking about wolves and gnomes right now, so apparently I think that means that something exciting must be going on behind that cellular ad. So let's go ahead and say hi to them. So if you are so inclined, feel free to hang on with us when we do that, and that again will be when we hit the end card. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Take care, and I will see you next week. Farewell.